Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Just a brief little announcement before the start of this video. In this video, and at the time I made it, this air fryer that I'm talking about was $179 on Amazon. The prices change constantly. This morning I looked, it's $199. Still a great price, but went up 20 bucks. I'm surprised the $179 price lasted as long as it did, but $199, considering it's a $369 air fryer, is like 46% off instead of 51% off. Still up to you. I don't have any idea what they're going to do with these prices. All I know is if it goes way up, don't buy it, because it'll come way down again. Many people have bought it at $199. Everybody's happy with it. Anyway, now on with the video. I wish they'd make up their minds. Well, hello again, everybody. It's me, Mitch, and I'm gonna fix my first meal of the day today using, again, the new 7-in-1 Ninja. I want to try to cook as many things as I can and show you as much as I can with it, as long as it stays on sale, so that if you're on the fence about whether you want one of these, maybe this will help convince you that it's okay, or convince you there's something wrong with it. I'm not trying to prove it either way. I'm trying to get to the reality of this thing and whether I think it's really worthwhile. What I want to do today, I did the steak from frozen yesterday. Learned a little something about that. I'm going to do chicken wings today, and I'm going to do them pork rind crumb breaded, which is really my favorite way to eat chicken wings. So bear with me while I do a little of the prep work. We're going to use the basket today, and we're going to air fry it. And there is a mode that says air crisp over here, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it at 390 degrees for 28 minutes. But first I need to take and I need to cut these wings up into flats and drums. Not my favorite thing to do, but it's something that you really need to do when you're going to make chicken wings. So we'll take these and we'll see how fast we can dispatch them. And I'll fast forward through most of this process so you don't have to watch me struggle with it. Okay, there we go. We got them all cut up. I'm going to rinse them and then dry them real good with a bunch of paper towels. So let's rinse them off. Just a quick little rinse and put them over here on the paper towels. We'll blot them off, and then we'll get our, I hate to use the word breading because there's no bread involved, but we'll get our breading station all set up and get them into the air fryer. And all this shouldn't take too long. We'll rinse the cutting board off because it's covered with chicken juice, and we'll put that aside to wash it really good with nice hot soapy water later. So let's blot these chicken wings off. And for those of you who worry so much excessively about cross-contamination, sorry, gonna have to touch the chicken. Going to have to touch the chicken. Going to have to not do a surgical scrub and rubber gloves on my hand every time I move in the kitchen here. I'll clean it up later. I've never been sick from any of this because I have an immune system. I felt it necessary to make that point so that you wouldn't waste your time and mine writing comments about you touched this and you touched that and then you touched your drawer handles and then you touched your knife and then you touched the other food and then you ate it. I'm not coming to your house and eat. Well, you're not invited. We've been over that. Sorry. Always remember, cavemen had no rubber gloves. Folks, little touch of salt in the egg. We'll get a plate out here and we will take and get a spoon and a fork to beat the eggs. No egg beating music today. Trying to do this with some dispatch to show you just how easy this is to do and how incredible and what a treat these things are with very, very little work. I'm going to use my, call it pork panko. These are called Pork King Good, either brand. I've got these on my website, oldguycarnivore.com, and the links to stuff I use. I also, just for your information, on these big jugs of Sam's Club pork rinds that I have, there's always crumbs and there's always things in the bottom. So I save them. I save them in a big jar. And when I get enough of these, I'll get out my food processor and I'll make my own pork rind crumbs. Same difference. The cost, believe it or not, is pretty similar if you grind them up or you buy them in a jar like this. This is just so convenient. Now, you got to be careful with these because they have them like these, basically unflavored, but they also have them with all kinds of stuff mixed in them for those people who simply have to take perfectly good, healthy food, find it necessary, and load it up with spices and sugar and all kinds of other things. We don't do that. So I spread some of this on the bottom of the plate, shake it out a little evenly, put my little egg wash next to it, and that's all you need is one egg to do all this. Take my chicken wings, stick them in the egg, lay them out on the pork rinds. These are big chicken wings. Lay them out on the pork rinds, the egg, kind of like pork rind glue. Boy, these are meaty ones. Look at this. And I think you can probably get them all done with 2 rounds like this. And you do have to wash your hands, rinse your hands, not really wash them, but you do have to rinse your hands a couple of times in between if you're going to be wanting to handle the spoon in the jar. So there's the first one. We'll come over here, give myself a quick rinse, dry them off. For those of you food contamination freaks again, at the end of this little session, this towel will be going into the laundry room. A fresh, non-chicken contaminated towel will be brought out, and then the soap and water will commence. So, please, don't freak out. Don't freak out. I know you love me. I know you don't want me to get sick. I am not going to die, I promise, from touching raw chicken. At least I haven't yet. But you know, of all the ways that we might go, eating these chicken wings might not be the worst option that we have, because they're that good. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure that I got pork rinds on top. You don't have to be too accurate about it all. we're going to come over here to the basket and we're going to place these things in the basket, trying to keep the crumbs localized. And this one, now we don't even have to flip these, we can just cook them just the way they are. So let's go back and do it again. Okay, spread out the crumbs on the plate. Get ready for the second round of these things. And I should be able to fit all of these in one additional round. So we've got maybe, what, 10 minutes of prep involved here for this meal. I do this about once a month. I consider this a real treat. And since I normally just eat bacon and eggs, having this once a month is just a real treat for me, and I truly enjoy it. And it's one of my favorite things to make in the air fryer, and that's why I'm doing it today, because if I've got an air fryer, I don't care what model it is or who makes it, the Ninja beeped at me telling me, maybe, are you plugged in and ignoring me? So let me unplug it, plug it back in again, and we'll come over here. We need to sprinkle crumbs on top, and there's plenty of crumbs left around the edges, so we'll use them before we dig in for some more. Might be enough here to not have to go back to the jar again. Then what I'll do after I put these chicken wings into the air fryer basket, we'll see what we got left on the plate and maybe sprinkle some of that on top of them. So let's put this second row of chicken wings in here, and you got enough room in one of these baskets for a totally adequate meal of chicken wings. So now I've got all of these other crumbs, and I'm just going to sprinkle them on there, because you can't have too many pork rinds, and they are starting to get a little sticky at this point, but it's okay. Just put them on there. Just try to keep the mess confined to the sink and not all over the stovetop or the counter. So there you go. We have finished with that. We have a very, very tiny, small amount of crumbs that escaped, and you can't help that because these crumbs aren't happy about the fact that they're going to get baked, and they try to escape. But fortunately this time, none on the stovetop. Okay, we're ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to power this thing up, and we're going to go over to Air Crisp, and it's set at 390, and I kind of like 375 works better, I've found. So I'm going to hit the temperature control. I'm going to go back to 375, and I'm going to bring you over here, and I'm going to let you watch what I'm doing. So there you go. You can watch what I'm doing. 375. Oops, I didn't set the, okay. So that, I learned something. You have to get the temperature and all that set first. So let's try it again. Let's go power on. Let's go over here to Air Crisp. Let's hit the temperature to 375. Let's hit the time to, I've been doing it for 30 minutes at 375. I want to stick with that. Now I can hit this and it'll start, and it goes into preheat mode. But I don't particularly want to preheat this. So I'm going to hit the preheat button where it tells me to add the food, and then I will shut the lid again. And it starts. So there we go. We got 30 minutes left. The fan starts to ramp up, and we'll come back in 30 minutes for a surprise. Either a great one or a not so great one.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm back, and we have 41 seconds left until this is done. It smells delicious. And I've used exactly the same timing and temperature that I did on the previous Ninja, the 551, so in 20 or so seconds we'll find out if indeed these two air fryers cook pretty much the same. Now it's hard to really overcook these wings or burn them, but we'll see. We'll see. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is done. And we will turn off the noisy range hood, and we will look and see what we have. And they look terrific. They're still sizzling away in there. And I will leave them sizzling away while I get one of them out and put it on a plate and let it cool a little so I can taste it and make sure that they are done enough. But there you have it. There you have it. That is what looks like a chicken wing you'd get in a restaurant that's breaded. And if they're done enough, it should be crunchy. Took me 5 minutes to clean up the whole mess from preparing this thing and getting it ready to go. All the dishes are washed. The chicken-laden towel is in the laundry room. The new non-food contaminated towel is out here again for those of you who agonize over that kind of thing. And I'm going to give this a little taste and see how it came out. And it's probably hot. Maybe I should wait just another minute. I really like this recipe. I'm going to put a link to this air fryer because the last I looked, it's still on sale. And again, these things don't usually stay on sale that long, so I'm surprised, unless they're coming out with a 8-in-1 in a week or two, which means they're trying to get rid of the 7-in-1s. But to go from $369 to $179 is quite a deal. And even though I held off to the last minute buying this, I am tickled to death that I did. I really like it, especially the way it cooks the steaks and has the grill and griddle with its own heating element. I love this thing. So I'm going to put the link to this on the website. If later on you're watching this video and you go check that link and this thing is back up in price, then you have to decide whether it's worth it. Many people have paid a lot more money than $179 for it. It was on sale for $199, and a bunch of people got them, and none of them regret it. So I have no control over that, and we'll see what happens. But what I can control is whether I put this thing in my mouth now, and I'm going to give it a try. So here goes. Oh, wow. That is thoroughly cooked. Crunchy as hell. Juicy. Oh. Yes, sir. Don't mean to talk with my mouth full. That is delicious. That is delicious. If you think one of these things can change your life, go ahead and get one. Like I said, the link down in the description and also on my website at oldguycarnivore.com on the links to stuff I use page. And with that, I'm gonna eat this, my first meal of the day. I'm gonna eat all of these. And while I'm eating, you can get started taking the rest of the day off. Find some time, though, to make sure you eat some meat. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I need to take a picture of this. So I'll see you in the next one.